features with Livingston and Tangela too, and our host Vincent Van Dahl, and he brings it to ya. Creature features and all creatures and all creatures, and the creature gonna get you tonight. You better not turn out your bedroom light. He'll grab your head and give it such a bite. You may even die, just from a fright. You ain't nothing gonna be, baby. You ain't nothing gonna be alright. Cause the creature gonna get you, baby. Gonna get you tonight.
Good evening. Welcome to Creature Features. I am Tangela, but you probably already know this, don't you? Vincent and the butler are off attending to other business at the moment, so I've been given this opportunity to dispense with the formalities and provide you with a brief introduction so we may get right to business. Will that be acceptable to you? I thought so. Tonight's film will be a sequel to one we've shown prior, Dr. Phibes Rises Again from 1972, starring Vincent Price and Terry Thomas. This is a very good film, if you liked the first one. Not so much if you didn't. But it will be better than the film we served to you last week, and likely better than the one we'll present next week. So there's that. And if you like birds, particularly parrots as much as I do, you do like parrots, don't you? Then you'll enjoy our guest. For tonight, Vincent will chat with author Mark Bittner. He wrote a book about the wild parrots that fly about in the skies of San Francisco called The Wild Parrots of Telegraph Hill, which was later made into an award-winning documentary film. He'll inform and amuse us with tales about these colorful birds and give us his opinion about tonight's film. So don't go away, or I'll kill you. Miss Tangela, I really don't think you ought to threaten the viewers. You know what I mean? Maybe just stick to the scripts. All right. Onward. So don't go away, for it is to be another night of parrot and phantom fright, right here on Creature Features. Lovely. Now may I get back to my duties. And stay tuned!
Channel 9, if all good friends at home switch over from here to Channel 9, they could watch The Silent Years. And tonight they feature Sally of the Sawdust, which is a W.C. Fields film, I believe. You like W.C. Fields?
I do, yeah.
He was wonderful. Anyways, welcome to the show. Enough with that book. We're going to talk about this book tonight with the wonderful Mark Bittner, who you did a fabulous book, a fabulous movie, and about a fabulous thing, which is wild parrots, of all things. Mm-hmm. You know, anywhere else in the world, parrots might be a thing that you see and think nothing about. But in San Francisco, that's not something you see too often, right?
Well, you didn't used to, but you do now. They're the official animal of the city now.
The official animal?
Yeah, they were voted that.
Oh, that's wonderful. So you wrote this in what year?
I wrote it from about 96 to 2002, I think.
Right. This is wonderful.
Something like that.
And you even have some photos in here, it looks like.
Yeah, they should be in color, but they're in black and white, unfortunately.
Oh, the publishers, they're the worst,
yes.
Are they not? No,
they are.
I once did an album called Color World, and the entire thing was done in black and white. And it's like they don't understand these things. But you have some wonderful photos in here with stories of the individual birds. So give us the quick take on what happened with these birds and why they're there.
Well, I was caretaking this place on Telegraph Hill, and it was surrounded by gardens, and I was seeing a lot of different birds, and then the parrots started showing up. and I was fascinated by them, and they kept getting closer and closer until finally I started feeding them, and then I started feeding them by hand, and then I got to know them individually, and I spent 6 years doing that, taking notes.
So where do they come from?
They're originally from Ecuador and Peru. They were wild birds that were captured and sent up here to be sold as pets, which you can't do anymore. And then they started breeding after they were either released or escaped.
Oh, so these weren't pets that escaped from people's windows?
Not really, no.
Oh, it's like a batch that...
Yeah, well, there were several different sources. I never did find out specifically how they got loose.
Right.
But I don't think it was just one incident. The flock grew gradually, and then they started breeding.
This is amazing stuff. All right, let's start this film, and when we come back, I want to get the full details on your interaction with these birds and the story behind them. All right? So let's start. Dr. Phibes Rises Again, and we'll see you at the break. Welcome back to Creature Features. If you're just joining us, you're somewhat a little bit late. They're still okay, though. They just miss a little bit of the film because Dr. Phibes has actually risen again. So that's important, right? The film's called He Rises Again. So if he does not rise again, that would have been disappointing. Can you imagine watching the entire film and he does not rise again? But they took care of it. At the very beginning of the film, he rises again. So enough about that. We'll get back to the film in a minute. We are with Mr. Mark Bittner, who wrote this wonderful book called The Wild Parrots of Telegraph Hill, which was also made into a film, and you're involved in that.
Yeah, I'm the human star.
The human star. So, back to these birds. It just completely blows my mind that in all these years that these birds have been floating around, apparently, you're the first one to actually document and write something about it.
Well, I was putting out a bowl of seeds for the native birds. It was sort of a hobby. I was killing time.
Right.
And I wasn't very interested in it, but it did attract the parrots, who did fascinate me.
Right.
And I just kept coming back to that bowl every day, watching them eat, and they kept getting used to me, more and more used to me. And then eventually they let me come out on the fire escape, and then they started taking seeds from my hand. They were never really tame. They would take seeds from my hand, but they wouldn't let me touch them or anything like that.
So, in San Francisco, are there not predator birds that would eat them?
Yeah, and hawks do get them occasionally.
Right. But
generally, they're doing very well. The flock, when I first saw them, was 23, and they're somewhere around 300 now.
300?
Yeah.
And they all remain around Telegraph Hill? Or are they
No, that's actually a misnomer.
Right.
That's what people around the area called them. Nobody knew anything about them. I was the first one to figure out that they traveled all over the city.
Right. So what's their range, do you think?
They actually go as far south as Brisbane now, but then trees stop. Their only thing is food. So, you get into industrial stuff in South San Francisco, so they don't go into that. And they don't cross water.
Based on that, what do you think their favorite area happens to be?
I wouldn't say they have one. It just depends on what's in fruit.
Right.
They go wherever the food is.
That makes sense. But they don't, go down to parks and eat crackers from strangers.
They don't go on the ground because they're arboreal.
No, and then the pigeons would become somewhat cross with them, right? I mean, if you're a pigeon and all of a sudden this colorful bird from the tropics arrives to steal your seed, it would be bad. So no, that makes sense. All right, what do you say we get back to this film, and then when we come back, we're going to talk some more about this book, right? All right, off we go back to Dr. Phibes Rises Again. We'll see you soon. Bye.
This portion of Creature Features is brought to you by CreatureFeatureStore.com, the official merchandiser of Creature Feature accessories.
Tangela, 8:30 on Tuesday evening is a movie called Kung Fu, and it stars David Carradine. This is wonderful. A remarkable story of the West and Far East. The adventure stems from the Chinese science of Kung Fu, a discipline governing such forms of combat as karate and judo.
You need to renew your subscription.
No, it's Tuesday. It's not Tuesday yet.
I was going to ask, what's today?
Don't question me. Anyways, welcome back. We're going to do some letters, but first, I've got an interesting thing that I noticed about you. You did the intro again. I did not sign off on this. Did you?
I was not asked anything about it.
No. I'm waiting for them to come say, all right, we're ready for you, and it's like, what's going on?
Well, we were running errands and we were running late.
Right, and Mrs. O'Connor, what's up with you?
Just waiting for Tangela to finally pay me.
For the intro, I assume. Oh, pay the woman! My goodness, you make her labor and you don't give her... That's a lot of cash for what, 5 minutes worth of work?
I'm worth it.
All right. Anyways, enough of this. We're going to do some mail because you sent us mail. It would be absolutely rude if we did not read your mail, right?
That's correct.
All right. What do you got for me, Mr. Livingston?
Crazy Tammy from St. Paul, Minnesota.
Her name is Crazy Tammy.
She calls herself that.
Crazy Tammy with an I, no less.
Interesting spelling.
All right. Hi, Vincent, Tangela, and Mr. Livingston. All the way from St. Paul, Minnesota. Hope you all had a good Labor Day weekend. Vincent, one time you mentioned Tangela has goats. Indeed she does. Was curious what brand they are or if she has any of those cute pygmy goats. So, yes, she has pygmy goats. And then she has, it's interesting. She has one male pygmy goats. And we had no pygmy goats. And now we have...
Too many.
24 half pygmy goats. From this one little tiny goat. I don't know the physics behind this because he managed to impregnate goats twice his size. So we've got more goats than we need. If you need any out there in St. Paul, right, we'll send them to you. Yes, there's too many goats. We don't have enough land.
That's quite an effort to send them.
No, you're supposed to have 1 acre for each goat. I read this. All right, onward. You guys are all awesome. Thanks to Creature Features for all the movies you guys show. Yes, I am a subscriber on YouTube. Also follow you on Facebook and Instagram as well. Been a YouTube subscriber for a year now and will be watching on YouTube for a long time. Thanks for YouTube as well for carrying the show. Crazy Tammy, a huge fan. Well, thank you for subscribing, Crazy Tammy. And hopefully the rest of you will subscribe as well because do you know that only 20% of the viewers of our program have subscribed.
Really?
The other 80% have not yet subscribed. So, anyways, thanks for writing. Next up, Mr. Livingston.
Thank you. Here's one from Darrell, Caryville, Texas. Caryville.
Darrell. You said Darrell?
I believe it's Darrell.
It's Darrell.
It's Irish.
Darrell. Now, there's no apostrophe on that, and that's Caryville, Texas, I believe. No, it's got cut off at the end. So, all right, here we go. He goes, Dear Creature Features, I didn't have the good fortune of growing up with a horror host of my very own, so thank you, Vincent, Tangela, and Livingston, for opening your manners to orphans like me. In an age of on-demand everything, where nothing feels special anymore, watching Creature Features has become a ritual that brings a little magic into every week. Listen to that.
Sad.
No, he's always poo-pooing this program when it's a ritual of magic to some people in Caryville, Texas.
That's a wonderful
named Darrell.
thing.
No, it's an absolutely wonderful thing. All right. My one bit of feedback regards the show's opening and the blockbuster sci-fi and horror movie montage that it is. I implore you to celebrate the B-movie creature features. Leave the aliens and the exorcists and the hellraisers to the snobby elites. Be proud of the unlikely misfits that could, the labors of love made by dreamers with stars in their eyes at the heart of your show. We are them and they are us. Give me your blurry, your dubbed, your cardboard props yearning to be believed, the wretched refuse of your edit bay floor. Send these, the starless distributed toast, to me. I pop my corn beside the yellow chair. He's a poet.
Oh, dear.
And he's a good one. All right, so he makes an interesting point. So we've got many movies we don't show in the intro because they're black and white. That's the problem is it makes the
Confuses.
opening montage look, you go from color to black and white to color. So we stick to color films, but if we were to put in black and white ones, we should do an all black and white one.
There was an idea.
In fact, we should do an all black and white episode.
There's
Right?
another idea.
Would that be fun? No? Who knows? Maybe next time. All right, thanks for writing, Darrell.
There's a letter from Fort Davis, Texas. Roger Lee Black.
Fort Davis, Texas. Very nice. All right, let's find out what this is. Looks like you've read it already.
Well, I have to check it for...
Oh, my goodness. Here's the... No, you want this 20 because you already gave yours to Mrs. O'Connor. No, this one's mine. It's going into my little can. All right, thank you for the money, Roger. And let's hear what he has to say. Dear Creature Features, I love your show. Your show brings back many happy childhood memories. That's another one I told you. He doesn't believe that this program brings back happy childhood memories. It certainly does.
If you say so.
No, this is what Roger Lee Black says.
Ah.
All right, in the mid-'60s, my cousin and I would walk through the woods a mile or so to watch Chiller Theater at an older friend's house. Chiller Theater was hosted by Chilly Billy, Bill Cardile of Channel 11, Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. Our older friend would put his kids to bed, then me, my cousin, and his wife would stay up late watching Chiller Theater. Our older friend's wife would make popcorn for us all. We had such fun clowning around and scaring each other. One time we got my cousin laughing so hard that he actually threw up in his popcorn.
Oh, how fascinating.
That's hideous. From that point on, we called my cousin Artie Stein. Well, I don't know how that works. Artie Stein.
I don't get it.
All right. I think it's a medical term of some kind. Vincent, you are a most excellent host. You connect to the audience and give us a great experience. It is obvious you have a passion to connect with others. That's another one I told you.
Oh.
All these things he says about me aren't true. I connect with others.
Yes, you do.
Livingston is awesome. His deadpan manner is perfect for the late night scary show. He is rather deadpan, isn't he? He's like a panhead, a deadpan head, a deadhead. He'd never listen to Grateful Dead. And Tangela, what a doll. She is cute as a button, and I love her little antics. I love watching her dance. Poor Andrew, I think he needs to wear a motorcycle helmet when around Tangela. She clobbers him with a monkey wrench, and I think that'll go right through a motorcycle helmet, will it not?
Perhaps.
Motorcycle helmets were designed to prevent road from hitting you in the head, and she's much stronger than road. She uses hardened steel. All right, and thanks for bringing me much joy and happiness, Roger Lee Black. Thank you so much for the donation, Roger, and we hope things are well. And we're sorry that Chilla Dilla is not around anymore, but you've got us, so hopefully we suffice. That it?
That's it.
That is it for letters. If you'd like to write us a letter of your own, visit Hello Creature Features. That's a small little website where you get information on how to send us an email or send us something in the post or send a monster to Tangela because she loves receiving monsters in the mail. Anyways, we'll be right back with Mark soon, but first let's get back to Dr. Phibes Rises Again. Hello friends, Tangela and I would like to take a moment to compel you to join Creature Features TV. It is our new streaming service that offers you early access to Creature Features from your computer or your favorite set-top device. You can see the full archive of Creature Feature episodes, movies we've yet to present on the show, a library of items from the original program, plus many other items you won't find anywhere else. Your small yet generous subscription fee not only supports the operation of the service, but actually helps finance the creation of our show. It's a very inexpensive way to ensure that we'll be able to continue producing Creature Features for years to come. Not to mention it'll keep Tangela out of making mischief and wreaking havoc in the village as well. So please visit creaturefeaturestv.com to learn more. And thank you so much for your support. You do cause trouble.
Sold 70,000 copies so far.
Right. Welcome back to the show. We are watching Dr. Phibes Rises Again with Mr. Mark Bittner, who wrote this wonderful book about parrots in San Francisco. But this film, interesting fact, they chopped out many portions of this film because the producers and director didn't like them. And they found out there was too many plot holes at the end. So they had Vincent Price come back in and do some voiceover narrative exhibition type thing to fix the. Why didn't they? You don't have to cut everything out of a film. I mean, a film does not have to be 1 hour and 55 minutes, right?
No.
But they made your film. How long was your film?
An hour and 23 minutes.
Hour and 23 minutes. So how did you go from a book to a film?
Well, I hadn't published the book yet. I was working on it when a local documentary filmmaker, Judy Irving, kept hearing about me. And the third time she heard about me, people were saying, you should make a film about this guy. So she came to check me out, and she loved what she saw. It was visually perfect for a filmmaker, these bright red and green birds.
Right.
So she found out I could tell stories. And that was all she needed, and she just started shooting. And the film's done really well.
How wonderful. Right. So was it actually shot on film?
Yes, 16 millimeter film.
Wow.
Yeah.
No, people don't do that anymore. They should. No, it looks so much better than...
It does.
So much video. It's like, Sony Betamax. No, you got to use film, Kodachrome.
There's a little bit of video in it, but very little.
No, you got to have some. It's not you can do. So how long did it take to make the film?
I think it was 6 years, 5 years, something like that.
6 years?
Yeah, well, she's a one-woman operation,
Right.
pretty much. I was a consultant, but she shot it, did the sound, edited
So
it.
what was the actual shooting time, though?
We shot for about 1 year and 3 months.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh,
She was
fun.
my last year with the flock. I was with the flock 6 years, and she was around for the last year.
Right. So when you say it was last year with a flock, you moved, or what happened?
Yeah, the place I was actually sort of squatting in this cottage, this old rundown cottage, and the new owners had to renovate it. So they said I had to go. They were tolerant of me. When they bought
Right.
it, I was in there and they let me stay for a while.
Right. Nice. So, and then a film is made, and now it's on the circuit again because it's been remastered.
Yeah.
Right. We'll talk about that soon. But we need to get back to this film because Dr. Phibes is still rising again. 1972. That's it. It was a good time for horror films, 1972. I like 1972 films. All right. We will see you on the other side of the break. Don't go away. See you soon.
Hello, this is Isabel from Anchorage, Alaska. Enjoying your program on YouTube. I love it. I love you guys. Livingston, Tangela, and you too. I discovered your channel by accident, and I'm just enjoying it. You take care, guys. Thank you so much.
This portion of Creature Features is brought to you by CreatureFeatureStore.com, the official merchandiser of Creature Feature accessories.
Welcome back to Creature Features. I should have had a parrot on my shoulder as I sang a sea shanty of some kind.
And an eye patch.
Do you like pirates?
I'm not too into them, no.
No, neither am I. But I think sea shanties should be part of the national anthem. No, they sound better than this, sad stuff. Anyways, welcome back to the show. We are with the wonderful Mark Bittner, who wrote a book and participated in a film about the wild parrots of Telegraph Hill, San Francisco to be precise. But before we talk some more about the film, I want to mention something about this film that we're watching, which is Dr. Phibes Rises Again. Peter Cushing is in this film, of course, and his parts for this film only took 1 day to shoot. Apparently his wife was ill, so he wanted to rush everything and get back to make her soup, I presume. Who knows? But a good husband Peter Cushing was. And but this your film, you've remastered.
It's been remastered. I had nothing to do with it.
You had nothing to do with it because that's complicated work.
Yeah,
and
it's
you
tedious
write
work.
books.
I was working on another book, but they took the original 16 millimeter negative, scanned the whole thing, took out all the dust in the scan.
Right.
And they also upgraded the sound to 5.1. So it's going back out into theaters after 20 years, which is a really special thing to have happen to this
So
film.
this came out in 2003-ish.
2003-ish, yeah. It went through festivals in 2003, and then it was into general release. Played 500 theaters.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
That's wonderful.
Yeah.
So a new 4K master. You should do the big widescreen, the giant. What's the giant screen thing called?
I don't know.
75. What's it called? IMAX.
Yeah.
Yes. The
impossible
75
now.
millimeter IMAX birds, and then you should use drones. Right? So you fly with the parrots. Now, don't listen to me. I am not a worthy filmmaker.
I couldn't revisit
I
it.
would make them horrible. I would scare all the birds, maybe chop a few up by accident, not intentionally, with a drone. No drones. Just the birds. But have you seen this footage where they take a small camera and they place it on the back of a bird?
I've seen that, yeah.
That's incredible.
Yeah.
I mean, I bet it's not too nice to the bird, but to see their view as they fly is wonderful.
I have seen that.
So nothing like that in the 4K version.
No,
of
it's
the
a low-budget film.
All right. Well, speaking of low-budget films, I don't think this one had a rather high budget either, but I think we need to get back to it. What do you think?
All right.
All right, off we go to Dr. Phibes Rises Again. We shall see you on the other side of the break. Stick around.
Ooh, muffins! Can I have one? Casey, want a muffin?
Ooh, thank you.
Dr. Phibes rises again and again, but let's talk to our guest first, because this movie, it's a long movie, right? Unlike your movie, which is a reasonable length thing, right? Reasonable. All right, so besides doing this book, what else have you done?
Well, I just finished another book. It took me 16 years. It's the story of my descent from middle-class suburbs to, I was a street singer for a while.
Right.
And then that all fell apart, and I didn't have anything else I knew to do, and I landed up on the street itself, and I lived on the street for about 14 years.
And you documented this.
Yeah, that's a book that I've written, and I also made an album to sort of give you an idea of what my musical interest was.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
So
None of it's been released yet, but I'm looking for a publisher.
coming soon.
I hope so, yeah.
So the album is what kind of music?
It's eclectic. It's everything that influenced me, and that was a lot of different stuff.
But is it just you and a guitar? Or is it an
No,
entire
no.
band?
It started out to be that, but I was in a studio and I couldn't resist, and we just started adding everything. There's horns, organ,
Oh, nice.
piano, guitars, bass, drums.
So what genre would you place this music in?
Well, it's folk, rock, pop.
Nice.
It's Beatles, Dylan, Van Morrison, all of that stuff.
Inspired.
Yeah.
Right,
yeah.
right. No, it sounds nice. And then this could be the soundtrack to your next film, right?
Maybe, yeah. Who knows?
Somebody will take your book, tell your story on film, and use that as a soundtrack. You know, I think you're going to have to go in the studio longer because you're not going to have enough music.
Oh, we have 13 songs.
Well, 13 songs, that's what, 40 minutes?
It came out to about 58.
Right.
Yeah.
And if the film's 1 hour, 20 minutes,
Yeah.
you've got some writing to do, my friend.
You have some quiet time.
When do you expect to release either?
Well, I'm looking for a publisher now, and the publishing business is really screwy right now. It's really hard to find out how to enter it again. My book did really well, so I don't think that I'm not going to find a publisher.
Right.
But so far I haven't.
Well, you can always self-publish, I presume.
No, I don't want to do that.
No,
I'm no good at
The
you know,
marketing
mailing stuff.
and all
Yeah.
that stuff.
Yeah, yeah.
Right? No, I don't blame you. I don't blame you. All right, what do you say we wrap up this film?
All right.
And then when we come back, we're going to find out what's down the road for you. Right?
Okay.
All right, off we go to Dr. Phibes Rises Again, and maybe he rises in the downward position. And don't go away after the credits because we'll have Tangela here, and she becomes quite cross if you're not here doing after the credits. So we'll see you soon. Somewhere over the rainbow. Is that John Provost's dog? Did you dog nap? She's always stealing John Provost's dog. You know, this is his dog. You have your own dogs. Where's that Fang dog of yours? I don't know how I put up with this one. She's too much. You don't have any problems like this in your home, do you? Yeah, you're lucky. Anyways, wonderful film. We'll show that again someday, but we'll have to show the first one. Did you ever see the first Dr. Phibes film?
No, I did not.
Yeah. You know, I think the first one was a bit better. Only because it makes more sense for the second one, but who knows. Anyways, what's next for Mark Bittner?
Well, in January, the film's going to open at the Roxy for a week run, and we're putting a lot of energy into that. And
Right.
I'm going to be there for Q&A.
Nice.
Looking forward to that.
Right, right. So this is like a full tour of the film?
We're going to try to get it out into as many cities as we can.
So if somebody wants to catch one of these showings, they can go to your website.
Yeah.
Which is?
markbittner.net.
markbittner.net. And there's some kind of calendar and more info about the film.
Yeah, I'm going to keep adding cities as they get booked.
How fun. It's absolutely wonderful. Well, thank you, Mark, for coming on and telling us about your birds.
My
and
pleasure.
Next time you're in town, make sure you come see us.
I will.
All right, and as far as you guys go, thank you so much for staying up and watching our program instead of that WC Feels program. We're in color. But WC Feels is not in color, so that's a good thing. And, well, I suppose it'd be okay if you have a white dog and not be in color. Anyways, Check in with us next week. We'll have a different film, different guest. Don't know what, don't know who, but it'll all be fun. Don't forget, we love you. See you next time. So, Mark, you're a bit of an expert on birds now, I presume. We've got a bit of a bird problem here in Bodega Bay, and people think, oh, you must get attacked by birds, and that's not what it is. They poop on everything. Any suggestions?
Well, that's what birds do, and you could use a little color in your hair.